All right, welcome everyone to the full moon drum-in. And I'm going to be talking about the moon tonight. And then our wonderful wolf, Birch, is going to do her blot. So tonight's moon is called the warm moon. Now there's two different versions of how the name came about. Typically you'll think about like the earthworms coming up. That's also a native tradition that around this time in the out west, there is a type of bug that their larva comes out. And it's also a warm appearance as well. So that's another reason why.
Grubs come out.
Mhm. There are different names for this moon. The Ojibwe calls it the sugar moon. It marks the time of the year when the saps of the sugar maple starts to flow. So maple trees up there starts to flow their nice sugar sweetness.
Yummy.
And at work, I discovered one of the trees there is actually a Canadian maple.
Oh, wow.
And it's big, but no syrup, no nothing.
No,
Aw, I was so sad.
I don't think it could.
Well, I was gonna say, we don't send it to hibernate, so.
No.
Yeah,
No.
wow.
There's also another name for the warm moon is the wind strong moon. That refers to the winds and windy days that comes across this time of year, especially at the end of March, going to April. You'll have like these showers and stuff comes in. And it's typically around this time of year that the winds start to pick up. Another name for the moon is the sword eye moon. It's the Lakota, Dakota, and Ishinabe highlights the blinding rays from the sun when it starts to melt the snow, the reflection. If you haven't been up north and you go outside and it's super bright with the snow, yeah. That's why I don't miss snow. I don't miss it. I don't. But the warm moon is more than just a natural phenomenon. It's also a time of powerful energy and manifestation. Typically, if you are a deaf witch like me, this is the perfect time of year to start manifesting, start to plant your seeds. Now, in winter, you're supposed to leave the things behind, but this is your last opportunity to leave the things that does not no longer serve you behind. And some of the ways you can do that is by setting clear intentions. And also journaling too is another great way to start the new year, especially with the springtime with this moon. So you can keep your manifestations on track. And a lot of people around this moon, they celebrate the spring equinox. This moon actually determines multiple different holidays. If it's before the spring equinox, that means Easter will be later. But if it's after the spring equinox, it's actually sooner. That's something I just found out. I was like, oh, that's different. Oh.
Yes, we just say that Easter is the Sunday after the first full moon after the equinox.
Yes.
How they do.
Yes.
The 21st of March, right?
Yep.
So many new beginnings.
Yes, so many new beginnings. And because it is the new moon, I'm going to make this very short so Birch can do her ritual. Yes.
I had one question.
Yes.
Isn't Passover also determined by the
Yes.
sun moon?
Yes, it is.
And that's why Easter is when it is,
Uh-huh.
because
Oh, well.
I guess they decided that. Because I guess it had happened right around Passover, they needed to keep that part of Easter. And the full moon is actually like on Monday. So Passover begins at like sundown on Sunday,
Mhm.
because it's like going into it,
Yes.
so.
I just,
Shuffle off.
Okay.
Easter should always be 3 days after Passover, but that's.
I mean, theoretically, right?
But they need it to be a Sunday, you know,
And
and so on and so forth, so. All right, so speaking of holidays that fall around this lovely moon. It is also in the Northern European traditions, the Ostara moon. Ostara, as the vernal equinox, is the Wiccan adaptation of the original holiday. So it doesn't, in the German and Nordic traditional heathenry, we follow a lunar calendar, not a solar calendar. So you take the moon that is closest to that occurs after the date. So in this case, of course, now the moon is on Monday. That's the first moon, so that is Sigurblot if you're Nordic pagan, or Ostarablot if you are a German pagan, depending on which branch you're following. Either way, there's bunnies and birds and transformations and new beginnings. And speaking of these things, Alva, do you want to share the story of this beautiful bunny right here?
my buddy boy. When I was 4 or 5 years old, my godparents, who, I only knew because they'd show up once in a while. There was an older couple that, you know, must have been friends of the family, I don't know. I didn't really know them. They brought me an Easter basket. And on top of this Easter basket was a white bunny with blue overalls. And he was my bunny boy. I named him Bunny Boy, and we were inseparable for my whole childhood. He would go outside to play with me, he slept with me, you know, I remember the day that my mother said, I can't wash him again. You know, he was just, he ended his life in a plastic bag when I was 22 years old, and my first husband threw him away. Because he didn't know why I wanted to save such a stupid thing. Anyway, I didn't think it was didn't think it was stupid. So I made myself another one because we were talking about it. We were talking about bunnies, and I just remembered my bunny boy. And so I made myself another one. This is my bunny boy. And Birch said, well, this is the perfect time, an Ostara bloat, to bring him to life like the Velveteen Rabbit.
Yes. So that is what we're gonna be doing in today's Ostara blog, because it is so perfect, isn't it? It's a bunny, it's Ostara. So the story of Ostara and her magic really revolves around this idea of resurrection. And I know it's not quite as obvious if you only know Florida, but if you've ever understood what it's like up north when the whole world falls asleep and it's cold and all the trees and all the plants, they're just hibernating, and all the snakes, they're all hibernating. And then slowly it starts to warm up, and very slowly it's still snowing up there. I saw the picture of my brother posting a box in the snow today. But slowly you start to imagine that, yes, the winter can end. And so Ostara's magic is she goes out into the world and it wakes up. It comes back to life wherever she goes. And so in that spirit, we have another bunny down in Hollywood that's going to be joining us and helping lend some energy. So Debbie, I think you have the bunny there, right?
Yes, we're looking at it. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. So we're gonna call that bunny here to the mead hall. All together. You guys have all done a couple of rune classes with me, so you know the basics. All right, we're good. Now the rune member of channeling Best room for that is Algae's. Algae's is the one that kind of looks like the elk. It's got the two pointy things on the side and the one in the middle, right?
Mhm.
Everyone remembers that one?
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna do a little jump ahead to the future rune class, chanting and dancing the runes.
Okay.
So everyone get in position, put your arms out like this. Okay, kind of put your backbone nice and straight, go zzz. And with that, we make a channel where the spirit of the bunny down there at Debbie's house in Hollywood can come join us through magic. And we're gonna come to Bunny Boy now. You can put your arms down. And so we're gonna come to Bunny Boy. And Bunny Boy, you've been such a good rabbit in your first life. You looked over Alba, you kept her safe. You looked after her, and I'm sure a lot of us probably have memories of a stuffed animal or a toy that maybe we loved and hugged and squeezed to death over and over again when we were really, really small. And that's an extremely strong form of protective magic. Because remember, magic all stems its power from our beliefs. And a little kid truly believes that their little toy can keep them safe from the monsters that are under the bed, from the dark. You guys, can some of you guys remember that? Remember that feeling? Like holding your little bunny?
Then Bettina Rabbit.
I had a teddy bear that I would take into every surgery I had.
Exactly, yep, just kind of think about that right now, okay, just bring that sort of energy here into this space, that like moment of cuddling it, right? And we're gonna use the runes. Bless him with life, okay? And it is raining, and you can feel that rain, right? That rain comes down, that first spring rain that brings back the greenery, the rejuvenation of life. And that rain is symbolized by the rune Uruz. Oh, right?
Oh.
Oh, Bunny boy, may you be blessed by the spirit of the spring rain, that you bring cleansing and love and new life wherever you go. And may you second be blessed by Alba's favorite rune, Thorn.
Lord.
Because with Thorn, you will have the power to protect whomever you wish to protect. You can protect her, her family. You can help Avelina defend the grove if you want. The world is yours, Bunny Boy. Whoever needs your help, by the power of Thorn, may you have the strength to defend those you love and those you care about. And third, I bless you by the power of Ansus. Ansus, the breath. The breath of Odin that he breathed upon Ask and Embla at the beginning of humankind. With this breath, we gain not just body and life, but mind, creativity, thought, all the complicated nuance that is a sentient being, of free will, of free intention, of capacity to learn, to grow. For all these things and all these possibilities, I bless you by the rune of Ansus. So mote it be.
So mote it be.
Would it be?
So with that, let us return. Bunny, Hollywood, thank you. Thank you for joining us. You may return back south again, travel safe through the rain, and be blessed. And Bunny Boy, I hope you have a long and happy second life.
No one's gonna throw you away.
Yep.
Never, ever, ever.
Get to make a new one.
You made a new one. Okay, so with that, we did a little star blow for Bunny Boy.
Mhm,
Who
mhm.
wants the runes?
Yes, Road needs the rooms.
Maroons?
Yeah.
All right,
For new beginnings.
yes, let's see what's coming for us now that it's Ostara, it's a new beginning, new happenings. So, those of you who are also can preview of rune class, right? With the first rune in a 3-rune draw, you call upon Bird, he who governs the past. All that has been, all that has brought you to the current moment. And she gives us Dagas, the rune of the liminal spaces, the transformation and the shifting from dawn to dusk, from dusk to dawn, the air around us, and all the medium through which light travels. Auspicious beginning, I think, for this time of year. When we first start to see the light come back out of the darkness, we start having daylight in the evenings when we get home from work. And with the second rune, we call upon Verhandi, he who controls the present moment, the only moment that we ever really experience, if you think about it. Because everything in the past is just a memory and everything in the future is yet to be. But this precise moment between them is Raidho, another rune of the sun and travel. It's the road. It's the road that we walk on through life. It's the road that the sun travels between dusk and dawn overhead. It's about all of those journeys that we take, both personal and spiritual. And I also hope that everyone has a safe journey to and from the Grove tonight, because it is raining, as we can all see. So I hope we all have a safe journey. And the third rune comes from Skuld, she who controls the part that is yet unwritten, the future. So let us see what she has in store for us. And she gives us Tiwa's Tears rune, the rune of justice, of integrity, of always walking the straight and narrow path, no matter how difficult it may come. Together, through the liminal spaces, you come on this road to build a better future, one of honor, pride, and dignity in the path that we walk. So be it. Okay, that's the vote. All right, so music and drumming.
Yes.